All right, here we are for part 4. All right.
Before eating, I'll take 2 capsules of digestive enzymes. This is to digest food better.
By the way, if you don't know what we're talking about, we're looking at Andrey Smaev's uh, uh, dietary protocols when he's bulking. And the reason we're interested in this is because, according to him, he grew nearly an inch at the ripe young age, at the ripe old age of 27. Okay, 27 years old, he grew an inch, and he grew it while bodybuilding. And there's been ongoing debate for years whether bodybuilding can stunt growth. And I made a video about that, and I also addressed that in detail in the book Grow Tall Fast. If you want that book, go to growtallfast.com. You can download it. But I talk about that very subject in detail. But I'll give you a synopsis, a quick summary right now of how it can stunt growth and why Andrey Smaev, if I'm saying that right, why he was able to bypass that, okay? The thing is, your body needs, I'm sorry, hold on. So yeah, I'll make it quick. In a nutshell, if someone is bodybuilding, they better be eating enough. And eating enough of the right thing. If a teenager is bodybuilding, trying to gain muscle, their protein requirements are substantially higher depending on the intensity. And their overall caloric needs, whether it's, fats and carbs, they are also higher because they're not just, first of all, they can't eat the amount of calories of regular teenagers their age because they themselves are bodybuilding. So they have to eat more, and it has to cover, the caloric intake has to cover not only their maintenance, but it has to cover the energy expenditure of their bodybuilding routine. And further, it has to cover the actual growth of their muscles. Okay. And they also need calories for their own the growth in their height, their stature. And they also need calories for their development. So they need calories for their own growth and development. Okay? And there's all these new hormonal things that are going on. They need the calories, the energy for all of that. And I might be missing something in terms of what else they need calories for. But just in case, you can go to growtallfast.com, get the book where I talk about it, and anything that I don't talk about in the book, there is a link to a video where it details how bodybuilding can stunt growth and how to avoid it. If someone wants to do bodybuilding but grow as a teenager, what they would need to do. Okay, so the answer to that age old question is yes, most certainly. Bodybuilding can stunt growth if it's done the wrong way. And the way Andrey Smaev is doing it, it's like I said, he ain't playing. Okay, now he's not a teenager, but apparently he's growing like one. Okay, so let's see what else we can learn, or shall we say, reconfirm by taking note of his full day of eating. Okay.
Next, we take antioxidants. Это, в принципе, для...
Okay. Absolutely. Antioxidants are very important. This is why, one of the reasons why you would hear me. When did I talk about this? I certainly talk about Cerule, their stem enhanced product, but they also have an antioxidant product. It's called, I forget the name, but E3 Live has a similar product and it's called Blue Magic. But yeah, they have a product. It's like a blue powder. Cerule has a product like that. Also, in the Grow Up drink that I talk about that in the book, in the Grow Tall Fast book. In the Grow Up drink, when you look at what's in that drink, there were antioxidants in that drink, and not antioxidant supplements, but it was certain foods that were in the drink, antioxidants. I don't want to say much about it because yeah, let me just be quiet on that right now. But the point was, there were certain things in a Grow Tall routine to mitigate inflammation, and that was there to promote the body being clean and not having unnecessary trash to be dealing with. I'm speaking very simply here. Okay, you don't want to add more drama to your body, more drama to your life in your diet. So that's one of the reasons why I strongly encourage organic foods and staying away from processed foods, because such things promotes inflammation, and it's giving antioxidants and whatever else in your body is giving it extra work. And so you don't want to give your body extra work, because now you're giving your body another battle to fight. And when your body fights battles, that takes energy away from what it could be doing to help you get taller. And so when I was getting taller, doing my best Grow Tall routines, I would stick to raw milk instead of store-bought milk. I would buy organic food instead of, regular store-bought food. I would make sure my meat came from a farm that implemented organic practices or close to it. I was really careful about what I put in my body. Okay. And there were times when I just felt like I needed a treat. But even when I had certain treats, I would go to places where it was high quality. Like back then, Whole Foods was a bit different than it is today. I think it was better back in the day. But anyway, there were certain desserts that would get from Whole Foods or certain shops in my area. They might have treats, and it was just higher quality. They used better ingredients. So anyway, if this is getting on your nerves, me stopping these videos, hey, it is what it is. But my point is to just show some different principles and 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 bring out the correlations that I see. Okay, and yeah, sometimes I may stop myself from talking because I don't want to say the wrong thing or I don't want to mix up my words. And because there is a lot, okay, there is a lot, and sometimes that's why I just say go to the book. You'll see it, you'll see it, and then um yeah, I was gonna say something else, but hey, let me just hit this play button here.
Antioxidants slow down all the harmful processes in the body. The next supplement is plant-based, and it's needed for liver support. Next comes natto kinase.
By the way, I was taking a broccoli supplement at one point. I was trying that out, but it wasn't a big part of what I did. But I did experiment with a broccoli supplement. Okay. All right. Now, right now, he's talking about natto kinase. All right. That's a mighty big deal, ladies and gentlemen. Let him talk about it, and then I got a riff on that thing. I got a riff on that.
A mild blood thinner, just one tablet in the morning. Coenzyme Q.
Okay, now let me talk about that natto kinase now. Not the Brocomax. Yeah, that natto kinase that he got there. Natto is actually mentioned in the book. Okay. And what is natto? It is I mentioned it as being a substitute or alternative for butter oil. And what is butter oil? Why do we do butter oil? And butter oil is X factor, which some say is vitamin K2. Okay? And it helps with the blood and the blood vessels and making sure that calcium, now for our purposes, it makes sure that the calcium goes to bone instead of soft tissues. Okay? It also is an enhancer of circulation. Okay? And so in the book, I did speak on alternatives to butter oil because let's say someone doesn't really want to do milk or milk products. They may shy away from it or do milk products to a minimal degree and focus more on meat and organ meats and bone broths or things of that nature. To get in all their vitamin K2, one alternative is something called natto. and you can get natto powder. I actually bought it. I tried it. Got it from Amazon. Natto powder, and that's a good vitamin K2 alternative. I say vitamin K2 alternative. What I mean is butter oil alternative. And now, as far as nattokinase, I actually have a supplement right now. It's called Natto-Sera. And it's a combination of nattokinase and serapeptase. Something like that. Okay? Don't get me messing up on these names. All right.